Hello, it's Anthony,
And Nick.
and today we're here with a Inkscape tutorial. So, the first thing you want to do, of course, is open up Inkscape. So while you guys will be starting in a new Inkscape program, we are starting with a pre-done one that we have here of a Connect 4 arcade game, I guess.
We use the Inkscape program so that way we could directly import the file into the laser cutter program inside the classroom. So that way we could directly cut into the wood and get the current design that we created.
So the first thing you want to do is find out what project you want to do. I mean, we did a Connect 4. You may want to do something simpler like a box or maybe just an L.
For our Connect 4 project, what we first did is we created a square, and then we created one circle and then duplicated it, and then evenly spaced out each piece to replicate the Connect 4 board game.
To create the underside of the board to hold the pieces together, we took a rectangle and made it the same size as what's going to be the width between the two boards that we made. And then to make the struts as well, we took a rectangle and put a triangle and conjoined them together, a grouping which we will show you in a little bit.
To get all the pieces moving at once, what you do is you highlight over by just holding down the cursor, and then you click. And then over the piece that you want to group together, you right click and then hit the group button. And to ungroup, you can just simply click ungroup.
So what we had to do for our Connect 4 board is we had to use tongue and groove to hold the pieces together. Basically what tongue and groove is it is these small squares right here that you see on the side and on the bottom. And what you do is you put them together and you glue them, or they stay in place if you're good enough to do that. And they just basically hold it together. And so basically what we had to do is we took these little basically small rectangles or squares and we grouped them up with the rest of the supports and removed spots for the board.
For the bottom piece of the Connect 4 game, we did a sideways L. So that way we can take this bottom piece right here and flip it on its side. So that way this piece will go up in here and slide right in to hold it in place. Similar to the actual Connect 4 game that you use the bottom piece to drop out all the chips once you're done playing the game.
So we took the tongue and groove concept and we put it over to the first part, which was just the support and the board. Now the hardest part about this was we had to make sure everything was lined up correctly, so that way when we laser printed this out, everything would be the same and nothing would be messed up. And we did encounter a few problems. So make sure that your laser cutter goes all the way through your wood, because if it doesn't, like for these little holes right here, we had a couple problems with the holes and they weren't cutting through fully. So with the tongue and groove, you want to make sure that everything is grouped, because at one point we had a problem like right here with the square and the triangle pieces, and we tried to group them together, but it did not work.
One problem that we encountered was when we cut out the side strut supports. The piece was too large and would not meet the actual size of a Connect 4 disc. So that way when it dropped in, it would be way too much room, and as you can probably tell by this, the diameter of a Connect 4 piece is about here. Oh, that's just dragging it. Is about from this edge right here to there. So we had almost 3 times the amount of space. So that's one thing you should always check, is the size of the side strut that you're doing.
So what you want to do at the end of every project with the laser cutter is, even if you think that the tongue and groove is going to stay solidly, you always want to glue it to make sure that it stays firm in place and you won't have any problems with it in the future, because, you know, having a nice model that you built out of wood break apart from, like, I don't know, a small shake or something is not exactly the best. So you're going to want to use wood glue, or maybe a stronger kind of glue, to make sure everything's held together. That's what we have to do with our project, and you'll probably have to do with yours. Thank you all for watching. I'm Anthony.
And it's your boy Nick.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, you know, all
And
that good stuff. Thank
You.